Hello everyone, Mocha Bear here. Welcome back to Mocha Bear's Hobby Den. Today we're going to talk about the Warhammer 40k Armageddon box set coming out for 11th edition and whether I'm going to get it or not and whether you should or not. Shall we get started? So I have gone over a bunch of the stuff for upcoming Armageddon. I've done a video about all of the end of campaign 10th edition books. We had 500 Worlds, Maelstrom, Eye of Terror, and then Armageddon, Return of Yarrick. So I've gotten all four, thankfully. Was very surprised, but then again, not surprised that the Return of Yarrick book was still available and in stock. Well, roughly a week after release. I was on 2 days ago, and it was still there. The Defiler, of course, was gone, but Mutilators were still in stock. Very surprised by that. But we're here to talk about the Armageddon launch box set. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to the Warhammer community page, and we can look at what's all in there. Of course, we had the reveal video about a week ago that showed us everything that's going to be in it. And we've even seen a thing about pre-painted terrain that got leaked by someone over in Asia, and I believe China, because my understanding China is where Games Workshop has all their printing setups. So they were forced to release videos early. So we're gonna go ahead and pop on over to the Warhammer community page where I have the article up about it. And yeah, you can partially see through me. I need to get myself an actual green bodysuit so I can just wear that and just be a floating head and arms sometimes. As I've stated before in a previous video, I'm intrigued by this, especially the Space Marines. However, you're gonna see why I'm hesitant with it. So starting a new edition with a bang, we're gonna have Orks from Gazgul's Thraka's group, and then we're going to have Space Marines that are painted as Blood Angels, but they do not have Blood Angel markings on the physical models. They are the decals, so you can use them however you want. I personally am looking at, if I get this, Raven Guard. Perfect for Raven Guard, especially with the jump pack units, with the speeder, and Raven Guard are my primary Space Marine chapter. So we're going to go ahead and go down here. So it says the box is so packed that we're going to need a fair few bullet points to list it all. DACA points, if you will. 23 brand new push fit Space Marines. 38 brand new push fit Orks. And I don't know if you can tell in this picture here, but we got one vehicle for Space Marines and 2 for Orks. We have conveniently sized core rules booklet. So just like they did in 9th edition, the launch box is going to come with a little booklet about the size of my hand, which is perfect for traveling, transporting to games, so you're not carrying the big hardcover. I, however, think that it should also be available in all forms of the starter box sets when the 11th edition is fully launched and they release the starter box sets. But we know how that's going to go. Armageddon Operation Imperator lore book, which apparently this is the only way to get that book. You got the chapter approved 2026-27 mission deck, as well as the Dominatus narrative campaign deck, so all cards. You're gonna have the Armageddon data sheet cards for all the models in this, and then the Armageddon transfer sheet. So, Space Marines. Yes, this is all the Space Marines right here. There's more models because you can read it. Yeah, you're going to have a new captain with Storm Shield, which I do really like. I like the new pose. I am curious if this is going to replace the one we currently have. And if they do that, that's going to kind of suck because it's cool to have variety. I mean, it would make sense to have variety because then you're not going to be stealing from yourself. You're going to be making money one way or the other. People are going to want different looks. So, and then if you have both this version and the version from 9th edition, from when the Necrons and Space Marines box came out, you got that captain with Storm Shield. People who kit bash would be able to have multiples of those, have multiples of these, and kit bash them together to give different poses, different looks. But the head options I really like. I like the Mohawk option on this, really. So yeah. The Librarian. A lot of people, from what I've seen, have been just dogging on this Librarian for the pose. My issue is it is the same face from the current Primaris Librarian model. There's definitely differences in the sculpt for them all. Obviously, the pose alone is different. Standing on an Armageddon rock formation, and of course, we can always just swap out the head for something else if you have an upgrade sprue kit. Or an extra head from another box, you can always swap it out. But I like the pose, but the fact that it's the same face is a little The Chaplain with Jump Pack. I really love the pose. I love the look of the armor, the accents on it. I love the decorations, such as the prayer banners, the seals. Seeing that originally, it was like, yep, I want to make that Raven Guard. The new Ancient. So we had the Primaris Ancient come out with the 9th edition box set, a launch box set, where it's got a semi-detailed banner, no text on it though, but I liked it. This one, we didn't really need a new one, but I feel like they needed an idea for something to do. I do like the fact that the banner is detailed. So if you can see here on this picture, it's the word Armageddon is actually designed into the model. I mean, I definitely wouldn't mind having one just for a different look for the Ancient. Then we have the 10 Intercessors. So these are the ones where they're supposedly they have been on the field for so long without resupply that they are having, or fresh resupply, they are having to gather armor from their fallen brothers and incorporating that into their armor to replace their broken and missing parts. I like that concept, especially as someone who's just recently gotten into Night Lords as much as I have. I actually had a game recently for Night Lords versus Necron, so I got to use my Night Lords. Getting more into their lore, like that's actually a pretty cool concept of mixing up the armor pieces because they're just scavenging what they can get. I do think that's cool. Granted, we did not need the new Intercessor models. We did not need them at all. A lot of people, myself included, just feel this is another way for Games Workshop to be like, okay, we need to be able to put out newer models, but we also need a way to charge more for them. So let's go ahead and just revamp the Intercessors with different look. So pretty sure that means that the current Intercessors are going to be phasing out soon. We'll see though, because like I said, it makes sense to have both versions of that same captain and then both versions of the Intercessors still available so people can mix match. They would sell, but we'll see what Games Workshop does. 3 Eradicators with heavy bolters. I do like the design. Didn't really feel like we needed them, but okay. The 5 Vanguard veterans. I am happy. I've been waiting for years to get Vanguard veterans because I did not want to I started early 8th edition. I want to say I started within the first year of 8th edition getting into 40k. And when I was getting into the Space Marines, I was like, ooh, these guys look cool, but wait a minute. They're Vanguard veterans, but they're not Primaris. They're smaller bodied. I don't know. I don't want to put those in with my current models, so I'll wait. And then the more I got into it, the more I was like, yeah, I really don't want to get those because they won't look cohesive with what I'm going for. I'm glad I waited, and I'm very curious what their rules are going to be like. We'll see when they come out. I definitely want them for my Raven Guard, absolutely. I think that it'd be cool to have some of these to also kit bash into some Night Lords, at least using some of their armor pieces. We'll see. And then the Land Speeder. And I've been wanting one again for my Raven Guard because fast moving. Apparently this is a resculpt of the Land Speeder. Anyone who has the currently available Land Speeders, I would love to hear from you to say, hey, yeah, this is what's different on it. This is what looks different. I'm curious to hear more about the rules for it myself. But yeah, that is all you are getting for the Space Marines. Now, here we go. The Orks. I am not an Ork player. I have Orks for Age of Sigmar because I got the 3rd edition box set, but I've not touched them. I've not touched them. I'm probably gonna. They're still all in the box. I've not touched the sprues in one box. The others I touched just to get the rulebook out. If I were to get this, I don't know if I would want to keep the Orks just to have for games, just to test them out, try them out, or if I have any friends like, hey, I want to try out Orks. Okay, well here, let's try them out. Or if I want to build and sell, build, paint, and sell, or just sell on sprue. But we've got a War Boss, Big Boss, Banner Knob, Pain Boy, Weird Boy. And then we've got 20 boys. From what they said during the original release, like announcement video, during the preview show, they announced how the boys were going to be different, as in originally you could only build them one or the other way. So you could either build them with a ranged weapon or a melee weapon. You couldn't do both. Now you can do both. As you can see, all 3 models there in the center have a ranged weapon in the right hand and a melee weapon in the left. So there's going to be 20 of them. Then you've got 10 Gretchen. And then you've got the War Track, and then Big Mech Daka Rig. The Daka Rig is, if you watch the Armageddon trailer, that is the little chicken walker mech thing. The War Track was not shown in the original Armageddon video, if I remember correctly. That's 38 models. Anyway, also going to be getting the books and cards. This is the Operation Imperator. I don't know. Words. That is the the lore book that is going to be only exclusively available, according to them, in this box set. So another FOMO tactic from Games Workshop to make you want it. Granted, I do love lore books for these whenever they come in the editions. I do want the Space Marines. However, again, some of them we don't really need. Some of them I don't really care to get. I only really want the jump pack models, and I would like that captain and the speeder. So I'm not really pressed for the librarian, and I'm not really pressed for the eradicators or the intercessors. I'm not really pressed, or the chaplain. Or not chaplain, I'm sorry, the ancient. So I'm very interested in the captain, the chaplain with jump pack, the Stern Guard veteran, or the Vanguard veterans, and the land speeder. Them, the lore book, the cores book, the smaller one, I feel like definitely are going to make it worth the price, which is probably going to be, well, at the beginning of 10th edition, this would have been $220, roughly $220. I believe that's what the Ultimate Starter Box set is as well. This is 11th edition. It's 2026. Prices are going up. I would not be surprised if this is going to be at least $240. At least. I digress. We all know that buying all these models individually and all these things individually would still cost over $300 each, like total, versus what this is going to cost. So this is going to be the cheaper route without a doubt. But I do want the course rulebook, the smaller version of it, which is what they got here. Then you've got the chapter approved and the Dominatus decks, which the Dominatus campaign deck is going to change how games are played. And it's supposed to be more of a story focused, but not narrative versus tournament focused. It's going to be supposedly a blend to make the stories, the matches just blend together, meld together, effortless. Well, I wouldn't say effortlessly, but smoother. Then, of course, you got the 17 data sheet cards. So those are going to be for all the models. And we all know the data sheet cards are going to be outdated probably within a month, maybe 2 months maximum, before they get FAQs done and all that. Things are going to be nerfed and buffed. But they say this is a box truly for all fans of 40k. So Captain with the Relic Shield. Sorry, not Storm Shield, Relic Shield. Again, I do like the look. I like the pose. Really cool looking model. This, like I said, I'd probably do for Raven Guard, but could easily be kit bashed for Space Wolves. Could easily be kit bashed for any chapter. Could easily be kit bashed into a Chaos Lord, which I want the Red Corsairs Reaver Captain to kit bash them into a Night Lord's Chaos Lord. I think that the Captain with Relic Shield here would be another really cool model to kit bash into a Chaos Lord. Of course, you would need to swap out the shield, since Chaos models don't really have shields. With his Massive Crafted Power Sword, here's the Librarian. Again, that is the same face that the current Primaris Librarian has. Not a big fan of it. I do like the design that they put onto the knee, on the shin, below the left knee. Then, of course, the Chaplain with Jump Pack. I really want it. I'm really loving the design of this. I hope that Games Workshop does some upgrades for all of their flyer models, like how the Jump Pack models all originally had flyer stems. Now they're going towards all these where they're connected to the base somehow without needing a thin stem. I need that for my Necrons for the 2 plates. Granted, I can always do that myself, I know. Here's the Ancient. Again, there it says, you can see a little better, Armageddon. That is actually designed into the banner itself. Then you've got the Intercessors. If you look at them, you can see some of the helmets are a little different. You can see the knees are a little different on some of them versus others, where you can actually see the knee are engraved, but others, they're solid and smooth. The main reason I want it, well, one of the main reasons I want Vanguard Veterans. And again, you can see with these models, some of the armor is different with the helmets. The one here on the bottom, I'm looking bottom left, so your bottom, yeah, your bottom left, because you're looking at it the same way I am. The bottom left, his left knee, shin is, armor is not the same as the rest. You can see that that has been scavenged. The Eradicator Squad with heavy bolters. Again, same concept with the armor. Take it or leave it, personally, myself. And then the Land Speeder, another reason I want the box set. I want a Land Speeder for my Raven Guard. And then we've got the Orks. So you've got the War Boss. You've got the Big Boss. The Banner Knob. Again, I know nothing about Orks in 40k. I don't know their rules except for the Wah. I know Daka, all that good, all that shenanigans. Pain Boy, Weird Boy, which I feel like I was called out before I saw the picture, and I was like, yeah, that's me waking up. Boys, so these are just boys. And again, you can see almost every single one of them has a melee and a ranged weapon. From the look of it, only 2 of them have a ranged weapon in hand. Everything else has both. So again, they're all going to be push fit. When they release the box separately, I don't know if it's going to be push fit as well, or if they're going to be multi-parts. Then you've got the Gretchen and the War Track, as well as the Big Mech Daka Rig. Again, I do think that's pretty cool. Again, not an Orc player, but I think that'd be pretty cool to have, even as like a decoration piece or centerpiece. Operation Imperator. That's probably how it's pronounced, Imperator. So again, discover the lore behind the new Space Marines' plan to reclaim Armageddon, their objectives, their deployments, and which commanders they'll actually be listening to. The Operation Imperator book is packed with all the latest background information on the ongoing war, and is the perfect companion for someone starting a new Armageddon-based campaign. When I first learned about Armageddon, it was all tied to the Space Wolves. Then closer, like when they announced this edition, I was seeing more videos talking about the other chapters that are focusing there, about chaos. I think that this would be a really fun for a narrative campaign where you have all of this happening, all the potential psyker energy taking place because of the orcs. Because people, that's one thing I do know about the 40k orcs. They are some of the most gifted psychers and strongest psychers in existence, and have no idea what it means to be a psyker because they are just that dumb. Whatever they believe, whatever they think becomes reality. So if they think, oh, that guy, that orc there is the biggest and the strongest, they will start to become the biggest and the strongest with enough orcs thinking that. Their weapons should not function. Their guns should not function. One of the videos I first watched about them years ago talked about how the Imperium got a hold of a orc gun. They went to take it apart and it was just junk mashed together. It should not function, but people were saying, yeah, this was definitely shooting and killing people. There's the infamous scene where the Imperium the guardsmen are fighting against the orcs. Their weapons are empty, but a guardsman just stands up, yells bang, and an orc drops dead because they believe that they were shot, so they died. So all the guardsmen ran out of ammo, were doing that. But then they hear chanting approaching, and they look and they see a group of orcs huddled together, marching towards them, towards their line, yelling or chanting, "I'm a tank, I'm a tank, I'm a tank," and all last rifle fire was just bouncing off them. You idiots! The orcs are idiots, but they are some of the strongest psychers ever. So I'm curious to see what information we get about the orcs in this book, as well as what's the different Space Marine chapters. Because I do know, obviously, Blood Angels are on Armageddon. We do know Salamanders are there. I believe Raven Guard are there. White Scar are there. I think the Raptors might be there. Some of the successor chapters are there for sure. And I believe the Space Wolves still have a presence on Armageddon. Then, of course, everything else in the box. So the core rules, the cards, and the data cards. Again, choose a side. Neither. I'm very, like I said, I want to get it. I really want to get it just for some of those Space Marine models. Granted, all the Space Marine models will get used, even if they're not put into the same chapter. Some of, like, all the Jump Pack are going in Raven Guard. The Landspeeder going in Raven Guard. The Captain might go in Raven Guard, or I might kit bash and put him into the Space Wolves, but not as a captain. I'm just getting into Space Wolves. I just got the Combat Patrol box for them, so I'm still learning. So please bear with me. I believe it's not a Blade Guard, Blade Master or something, but there is a captain model that actually came in the Combat Patrol box that will go for it. Here we are. Wolfguard Battle Leader. That guy. Could kit bash that captain into one. Might have to get a new shield, or you can just run the shield and just say it's a different style shield. Easily done. Or I could kit bash it into a Chaos Lord for my Night Lords. I don't know, but I do want him. And he could also go for Salamanders. I do have Salamanders that I started as well. I have a decent sized Salamander army, bigger Raven Guard army. But I really want those models, especially the Chaplain with Jump Pack. Perfect for my Raven Guard. And then, of course, I keep saying I want that little rule book for ease of transportation, for space in my bag, things like that. It's convenient. And that lore book. I do want that lore book, but it's only available in this. So again, I feel like I'm not an orc player. I might keep the models for a bit just to try them out, or just to have them. So if a friend wants to play, like, I've been looking at trying orcs, like, well, I got some orcs. Try them out. Maybe. We'll see. As of right now, I am I'm really 50-50 on whether I'm going to get it or not. It is rumored that the 30th of this month, so not this coming Saturday, but next Saturday is when Armageddon's launch box set will be available for pre-order. We will find that out probably on the 24th. The 24th. So a week from today is when we will probably find out officially, Armageddon launch box set available for pre-order this weekend, this Saturday. You know it's gonna go quick. No, it doesn't matter. They're gonna go quick. So if you know you want to get it, keep an eye out. If that way you can try to get yourself ready for it. You know that going online is going to be very difficult, so you're going to have to be quick. Be careful because there's going to be a lot of scalpers out there using bots, using multiple computers and phones and accounts to try to get in to scalp multiple copies of it. I know it's your money. It's your money. You need it now. You can do whatever you want with it. Sorry, ADHD. But please, I beg you, do not put money into the pockets of scalpers. If you're like me and you're wanting the smaller rule book, try to get to your store as early as you possibly can. Call your local store. Say, hey, I'm gonna want this. Can I get in there? Can you put me in the book? Because on that day, on the 24th, usually around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when they make their announcements. I'm going to be trying, I'm going to try, because I'm going to be out and about that day at that time, to call my local store, say, hey, it's me. I want to be put in the book for the Armageddon box set. They'll put me in, and then the day of, on the 30th, if that is officially the day it's going to happen, then they'll get whatever order in line I am in that book, is when they'll get to me to try to get me into that system. Fingers crossed, I will be one of the earlier ones. So try to get with your store as soon as you can. As soon as you find out about it, say, hey, put me in the book for it. The stores will work with you. The managers will work with you. They will help you out. Just be kind to the store employees, the managers. Be kind to them because they are as stressed out, if not more stressed out than us when it comes to these pre-orders. They deal with the bureaucracy from the company, and they deal with the nagging and all the hate from the customers that they do not deserve. So please be kind to your Warhammer store employees, the management team in those stores, because the managers, like I said, they are as upset, if not more upset than we are. So does this box set look like it is something you want? Are you a Space Marine player and are you excited for the models? If so, which ones? If you are for some but not others, I want to know, what do you and do you not like for the Space Marines? If you're an Orc player, are you excited? You're getting new models, complete new models that are brand new to the game. You're getting new molds, new prints for them. Are you excited? Are you not excited? Why or why not? And what else in there are you excited for? Are you excited for the data cards? Are you excited? Not data cards. Are you excited for the narrative cards? Narrative cards. Where are? Here we go. The chapter approved cards and the Dominatus cards. Are you excited for how the gameplay is going to change? Are you wanting it for the lore book? Are you like, I'll just wait? Because I also saw recently that a blurred image of, it looked like a Space Marine Combat Patrol box set. Looks like it's going to have every Space Marine model that's in the Armageddon box set. Keep an eye out on that. But yeah, I'm curious what y'all are gonna do, what you're all thinking about. I've told you I'm 50-50 on it right now. We'll see how things go over the next week. And if I get it, if I do pre-order it, and if I am able to get a copy of it, I will let y'all know the day after, which would be May 31st. So yeah, we shall see if in a week they announce the pre-order. And if they do, then in 2 weeks, you'll hear from me about it. Well, because supposedly that means that they'll be coming out on the 13th of June, which supposedly a whole bunch of speculation for this is because the Warhammer world tables and everything are all the games for that week are completely blocked off. So they believe that they are in preparation for 11th edition with all the new terrain rules and everything. So we'll see. But yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, if you are interested or not interested in what's going on here, please give this video a like. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe button if you have not already subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell icon, set notifications to all when I get notified when I go live, or upload videos. My goodness, when I upload videos or go do live streams, I'm so out of it right now. I'm so flustered for no reason. I do have some Kickstarter projects I do need to unbox for you all here soon. I do have one over here I was planning on doing for today, but I was like, you know what? This is more of preemptive strike for the Armageddon box, so let's go ahead and do it. And yeah, I do need to build and paint some stuff. I've been working on Night Lords recently, so I've actually been using the skulls and the trophy boxes to decorate my Night Lords a little differently, to make the models look different from each other, especially since I have like 2 Nemesis Claw boxes. Also, please comment down below if you did or did not like this video, why or why not. Are you interested in the Armageddon box set or not? Why or why not? What rumors have you heard? If you want to get it, what chapter do you want to do your Space Marines? If you are an Orc player, does this look like a good list of Orcs for you? For the Space Marine players, it's hit or miss, depends on what chapter you do. And then please lastly, share this video, bring awareness to my channel, help me continue to grow. I'm going to go ahead and end it there, so please as always take care of yourselves. And until next time, hobby on.